Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program.
When this bill is law, 3 strikes and you're out will be the law of the land.
They are absolutely destroying the traditional Western civilization right before our eyes.
And I consider it part of my responsibility as President of the United States to fight against negative stereotypes of Islam wherever they appear.
The intent of the founders, that's what the Supreme Court is supposed to do.
I declare, I'm not going to pay for that wall.
Donald Trump going to protect our nation because he said that if he's in office, he will find the enemy and destroy the enemy.
Welcome to the Abolitionists Roundtable, your all-access pass to the 2016 Red, White, and Blue Conservative Revolution. Join the conversation at 734-822-1600. Now here are your hosts, Del Marsh, Phil Stargell, and Janice Daniels.
Well, greetings. Thank you for joining the Abolitionist Roundtable. Again, one more time, we're gonna fight this fight for freedom, fight this fight for liberty. And you're listening to the Abolitionist Roundtable. If you'd like to join the conversation, give us a call at 734-822-1600. The mayor is here. Phil is here. Absolutely. They have on their bulletproof vests. They have their automatic weapons. Their automatic weapons of truth. That's what they got. They got an automatic weapon of truth, and they're gonna unleash it today. Their vest that they have on is the vest that they're not going to allow anything that's false come through these airways today. So if you want to come, if you want to join the conversation, you can. But they got their vest on, and when they hear it, it's going to be rejected. Now we can have a dialogue, but folks, we have a nation to save. We have a nation to save, folks. Let me just say this right here. I've been a fan of Mr. Trump for many years. I liked him. I would when I could watch it. I liked his show, The Apprentice. I liked him. He was, was he a flamboyant person? Absolutely. There's a lot of flamboyant people out there. But the news media, the state-run media, the Democrat-run media, we can call them the DNN, the Democrat News Network. That's what they are, the Democrat News Network, the DNN. This is the state-run media. What they're doing is they're doing everything they can to manipulate the outcome of this election. It's not that they're out there saying that Hillary is so great right now. What they're trying to do is they're trying to do whatever they can to drive Donald Trump's poll numbers down, his likability down from the American people, from independents, for people that see that he is a change agent, for somebody that never took a vote at all. He never took a vote. He is a true outsider. For over 30 years, for maybe 35 years, he's been an A-list celebrity that's been in the public eye and never, ever had any kind of sexual allegations against him up until the last 3 weeks of a national election. Only in the last 3 weeks of a national election. Second, racism. We've never, ever heard any allegations of any kind of racism against Donald Trump in all these years, only because he's running as a Republican and he's running against the globalists. He's running against the establishment. He's running against Democrats. He's running against the establishment Republicans. And folks, let me just tell you a story. I know you read this, and we're going to say good morning to Phil and Janice this morning. There's a part in the Bible when, in the book of Exodus, when Moses, he selected 12 men from the 12 tribes, and he sent them out to scout the land. This is a land that God told him that this is going to be a land of fruit, of abundance. It's a land that I promised you. And he said, but there's going to be people in the land, but you can overcome them. He said there's going to be the Amorites, the Zemarites, the Democrats, the liberals, the Republican establishment, and I added that part in. But when he went, these 12 spies went into the land, and they came back to give him a report. It was 10 of them that said, oh, they too big, oh, they too strong, oh, we can't take them out. But it was two that said, you know what, the Lord said that we can do it, we can overcome them, we can take them out. Oh man, was that land filled with milk and honey? Was that land filled with abundance? We going in because he said that that's our land. Folks, it's the same thing. We have the 10, the reestablishment, the reestablishment Republicans. We have the Democrats. We have the establishment Republicans that's looking at the Democrats and the news media and saying, oh man, they too big, they too powerful. But we have one man that has given up everything. Now he's going to take a blow to his own personal protection, his own personal wealth for many years because he did something to me very noble. Donald Trump, who I would say that he lined up more with liberals, he rose up and said, we can't go like this anymore. And he ran as a Republican, but ran as a Republican as a nationalist. It's somebody saying that we got to bring this country back together. And Republicans rejected him. That's okay. They can reject him. That's all right. They rejected Reagan. That's okay. They can reject him. Matter of fact, because they reject him, that automatically make them side with the Democrats. But he has a friend here at the Abolitionist Roundtable at Wham Talk 1600, and we're part of those two. That we see that we can overcome that giant. We can overcome that giant. Can we overcome that giant, Phil?
Like to say good morning to everybody out there this morning, but yeah, we can overcome it, and the best way to overcome it is for Trump to be Trump.
Yes,
and not allow some of these people that are on the airwaves telling him how he can run his policy and how he can run his political campaign. The thing about it is you don't know who's who.
Yes.
Because one thing for sure, if they don't defend him like us conservatives had to defend John McCain and we had to defend President Bush, who had the job, we still had to protect him. And what did he do? Who did he protect? He protected Bill Clinton. He personally rehabilitated Bill Clinton to pave the way for Hillary Clinton to go into office. And if you look back at all of these establishment Republicans, Colin Powell, George Bush the first, you remember how he opposed Ronald Reagan, his own president, and as the vice president? He called Reagan's policy voodoo economics. What did he do? He turned right around, and the first thing he did was break his pledge
and raise taxes.
Raise taxes. And so he was against him all along.
Wait a minute. That sounds just like what Mitt Romney, which I thought was, was he our favorite candidate? That's not a problem. No, he wasn't. But he was a very noble man, a very honorable man.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He went on the Clinton News Network. They call it CNN, but it's the Clinton News Network. He went on CNN and said that Donald Trump, he is against Donald Trump because of trickle down racism. I could not believe what I was hearing from this man, from somebody that we all thought was a very noble person that could have been a very great president. But Mayor, can we overcome these giants?
Good morning, Del.
Good morning.
Well, good. I think that with God's help we can overcome because, quite frankly, that's what we need in this election. Is we need the help of God.
We need a miracle.
I'm telling you.
We need God to give us a miracle.
It's shocking, and we can talk about it all day long in our conservative groups. But the mainstream media has a lock on a lot of people.
They do.
And, in fact, every 2 or 4 years in every election cycle, we see that they pull out that womanizer card if it suits their needs. Alan West, Herman Cain, The list can go on and on and
you're right.
on.
They did Herman Cain, Newt Gingrich.
Newt Gingrich. Every single time, the Democrats cannot attack their opponent on the basis of policy, and they cannot attack Donald Trump on his policies because every single one of them has the underlying theme of America first.
That's right.
And so if they start attacking,
they don't have a voting record. So,
well, he doesn't have a voting record. That's exactly right. And he's not beholden to anyone.
That's right.
He doesn't have the connections to foreign donations that Hillary Clinton does. Those WikiLeaks are so damning to Hillary Clinton that the media is working overtime to make sure that you and I and the massive people out there that are going to go and cast a vote on November 8th don't have a single clue as to what the heck Hillary Clinton really is all about. It's shocking. It's just shocking. And so the only thing we can hope to do is that Obama doesn't curate Wham radio. He says we got to curate the news because it's like a wild, wild west out there.
That's right.
Can you imagine? What he's saying is that he has to take the news and mold it from the perspective of the intelligentsia. We the people, we can't have a voice. Well, that's a common theme throughout totalitarian regimes all over the world throughout history. So this is nothing new. This is nothing new.
He made a comment about the internet too.
Well,
when he said that, and that's what you made a good point when he said that, he pointed out that everything is not on the internet is true, which we all know that. But then he pointed out, like you said, that other part. But he pointed out also that we need a neutral place where we can put all information that are true. Well, what he's saying is we need a neutral place where we can put all liberal propaganda.
Or
that's what they really want.
Or he's saying we need the ability to make the truth what we want it to be.
What they want it
what
to be.
we want it to be. And in fact, he's done more than make a comment about the internet. Him and his administration have taken the internet domain name control out of the hands of the people of the United States and put it into the hands of the globalists, and that's the agenda.
Who invented political correctness, and that's the only thing that I would tell Donald Trump is he needs to get back at the political correctness because nothing is what it is. Nothing is. It's always what it is, what the person that's pushing the agenda wants it to be. Just like
they create the narrative.
Just like what they're accusing Trump of is sexual assault. Well, that's a new definition of
sexual assault. Words all of a sudden have become assault.
That's right.
They have converted that. And Del, you pointed out.
That's a good point.
And you pointed out.
Go ahead. No, I'm saying here when Bill Clinton did the actual acts against women, the actual acts. So they want to ignore all that right there. I'm talking about ignore. It's a blackout now. Matter of fact, where is Hillary Clinton? Because I think she's in hiding right now. I haven't heard her doing any campaigns at all. Donald Trump is still out there with massive crowds. I think Hillary, I think she's in hiding. I think she only can do 2 days a week campaigning. She has to go and rest. So where is she right now? Where, I see the president, I see this Marxist out there again with the same old talking points. The same old talking points, not about what Hillary can do, but again, just denigrating Donald Trump. Just denigrating.
Exactly.
And when have you seen a president go out on the stump and his wife is going, he's on
Lord.
one court.
That's right.
And they're attacking on Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not made one policy. But what he's doing, and nobody has said it, he is defending his criminal activity. Because this White House
That's right. That's a good point. And they call it he's defending his legacy.
But he's defending his criminal behavior.
That's right. Because we found out during with those WikiLeaks those emails that Barack Hussein Obama was a part of. He used a fake name, and he was a part of the corruption in emailing back and forth with Hillary Clinton.
And the lying
found this out.
and the covering up.
Yes.
And all of that. And I mean, it's just one criminal activity after another. But
so he has to protect her because he's a part of this he's a part of it.
But that cloak of racism, invulnerability is the thing that's protecting him. Hillary is trying to get it for female. What do you call it?
Well, the war on women.
The war on women. Yeah.
So she's trying to.
She's trying to use
and that's what with this rise now of all these women coming out that suddenly only within the last 3 weeks after 30, 40 years have never ever heard anything like this. This is the Democrats. This is the state-run media. This is their position. They got their talking points from the Democrat Party that this is what they do. This is what they're doing.
We can't get any official information from Hillary.
Yes.
But on Donald Trump, all of the unofficial sources are coming out, and people are coming out of the woodwork because they read this nonsense on the internet or wherever, you understand, and through emails. And all of a sudden, you got people coming out of the woodwork.
Well, like Del pointed out before the show started, Donald Trump has had deep pockets for many, many, many years.
That's right.
And these women who are accusing him now, 28 days or however many days we are before the election, where were they 5 years ago, 11 years ago, 30 years ago, when they could have really cashed in
especially
on a lawsuit?
That a couple of them did not work for it, didn't have any connection. That one woman talking about he accosted her on the airplane. You know, I mean,
she's part of Hillary's campaign staff, isn't she? Can you imagine?
That's right.
But you know what? There's another
argument. They said it was in 1979.
There's another argument that is being resurfaced, and that is, well, we can't vote for the lesser of two evils because then there's still evil. Well, excuse me, people, knock, knock. We are all partly evil, partly good. That's the fallen nature of man.
Right.
So if you think about it, when you vote for the lesser of two evils, when you vote for the lesser of two evils, you are creating a scenario in which there's less evil.
Yes.
Less evil. Now, isn't that, even on the face of it, isn't that kind of an honorable goal? If we provide an environment for our children that we're passing on less evil than what we would be passing on to them if we voted the other way. So not voting on the basis of not wanting to vote for the lesser of two evils is a ridiculous contradiction.
Well, here, let me just say this right here. When the Pentagon, before I go into the Pentagon, I want to say this. Right, talking about lesser of evil. When the U.S. Navy defend their position of removing the word man, remove the word man under this administration. This is evil right here. When we have people that there's no such thing as a transgender, but they come up with these, in our military, and the Pentagon put out their handbook on sex change in the ranks. What is this right here? So we talking about evil. We can't talk about lesser of evil. Donald Trump is not evil. He never took a vote.
Nope.
He's never created a policy. Not at all. And liberals
but he has done one thing.
Yes,
he has influenced policy because he is rich and he is multi-billionaire rich. That's a lot of money. You can influence people's decision making because of the power of that buck. That's why there is opposition to him, because he knows where the skeletons are.
Yes.
Now, if he decides that he wants to start telling things, these people are right there because he's corrupted Hillary Clinton with money. He's done it to the Secretary of State, what's his name, John Kerry. These people all have dealt with Trump because Trump is a worldwide player.
Well, he's taken advantage of their corruption.
That's right.
I might agree with that. I might agree with that. But I don't think he corrupted them.
Well, but he was trying to influence them with his money.
Exactly.
If he had a building that he wanted to build or a contract that he wanted, and they would ask him, well, we would vote on that, and I'd help you get your contract if you make a donation to my campaign.
Just like everybody else, we're all we are all influenced by the seduction,
but one thing
the allure of power, and that's the power of it.
Well, one thing they know is they cannot control him.
Right.
He's above all of that. If he was the president with that knowledge, you know, what do you think?
Lots of people could be in lots of trouble.
Yeah. Here, let's go to a call, and we're going to go to Gary from Roseville. Good morning, Gary. How
Good morning,
you doing?
Gary.
Oh, good morning. I just don't care anymore.
Well, that's exactly what they want you to do, Gary.
Really
you gotta care.
What I mean is I don't care. I'm so sick of turning on the TV.
Oh yeah,
I know.
And seeing all these attacks, which is so political.
Right.
If anybody can't see that this relentless attacks, constant every day, it's sickening. And I just don't. You can't. People that are going to vote for Hillary, you can't. Tell them anything. They're going to vote for Hillary. And I'm just like them. I mean, I'm voting for Trump. You ain't going to tell me anything either. You're not going to change my mind,
no.
Great.
I don't believe he's a rapist. Make him out to be some kind of damnable racist is what they're trying to do.
Well, the mayor just came to see it and feel they came up with a new word, just touching somebody. They came up with a new word,
Or no, just saying something.
Just saying, or just saying something, or just saying you ugly.
Yeah.
That has now become a sexual assault.
You go on a satire program like what's his name?
Like Bill Marsh?
No, the guy that he was on the show.
Jimmy
with.
Kimmel?
No, the
here we
Howard
go.
Stern.
Oh, Howard. That piece.
Yeah, I got you.
So now I would never recommend.
My microphone off.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But everybody knows that you're going to hear a load of CRAP on
well,
that.
you are. That's true.
You know what? The very same people that have set up this environment where all we do is focus on sex and violence are the very same people that are accusing Donald Trump of being a sexist and a racist.
Created this environment.
Exactly. You know what?
And now all of a sudden I got this high morality.
Oh yeah, and they take the high road. Yeah, they're on the high road, of course. You know what? The choice we have is between a successful businessman who loves women versus an international criminal who has a womb. That's what the decision boils down to.
And hide behind the woman's so-called movement.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. Oh, don't you want to see a woman as your president?
Yeah.
Well, that there opens up a whole nother conversation because I personally don't really ever want to see. I want to elevate the man who God created in his image, the stronger, the warrior type, the
Trump
logical.
Is an alpha male lieutenant.
I like
him. An alpha male.
I like Donald Trump. You know I've liked Donald Trump, but I didn't watch television. I didn't watch The Apprentice. I didn't watch what my friends say. If I had watched, I wouldn't like Trump so much. But I only know Trump for the presidential campaign, other than knowing about him, of course.
But what did the people say about Bill Clinton when they said they wanted a president that that was a man, that had chase women. That's why they made him the first black president, if you remember, because he was sexually promiscuous.
Yeah. You know, in these WikiLeaks emails, the Hillary campaign had thought about calling Donald Dangerous Donald. That was going to be their theme, Dangerous Donald. But then they thought that maybe it would cause the people to think of him as a strong man, someone that could protect us and keep us safe. Yeah. So they scrubbed that idea. It's fascinating what these WikiLeaks emails show. Yeah. If people would just read them. It's hard to do, though, because,
Well, the news media will not push it.
You got to turn the television off. Yeah. I'm telling you. You got to turn that electronic cesspool off.
And it's true because it is, again, it's the DNN. It's the Democrat News Network.
That's right.
And everything that they do is to help out Obama, help out this administration, help out Hillary, and if you don't believe it, denigrate the American people.
If you don't believe it, go back and look at how the guy Badger, that was his name, the commentator on with Trump, when he kept badgering him. Have you ever did this? Have you ever did that? Have you ever sexually
Thanks, Gary. All right, folks, if you'd like to, all right, we'll talk to you soon. If you'd like to join the conversation, give us a call, 734-822-1600. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
You're listening to the Abolitionists Roundtable, patriotic, red, white, and blue, conservative all-access radio, with your hosts, Del, Phil, and Janice. They're leading the charge and advancing the conservative revolution. Join the conversation at 734-822-1600.
Hello, I'm Milt, and this is Logically Speaking Uncensored. Patriotism is nationalism. Nationalism is defined as devotion to the interests of a nation with the belief that the nation benefits independently rather than collectively by emphasizing national rather than international goals. The unwarranted attacks by socially engineered Republicans regarding the conservatism of Donald Trump is a despicable distraction, because there is no unbiased litmus test to certify who is a conservative and what constitutes conservatism. Therefore, the only priority of concern for presidents should be, are they a patriot who will place national interests above political party interests and protect the United States? As Republicans promote conservatism as a panacea for the nation's problems, legal American voters should avoid political party superficiality and focus their attention on whether a president contender has the fortitude to secure the borders, stop illegal immigration, and stop the invasion into the United States by Muslims programmed to destroy America. For over 7 years, Republicans with their patina of conservatism have not stopped President Obama from becoming their puppet master of manipulation as he dangled Republicans on his string of executive orders and make them genuflex and dance to his compositions. Conservatism has not stopped the Obama Democrat regime from injecting homosexuality into school curriculums, the Boy Scouts, and the military. Nor has it stopped the funding for the baby-killing operations of Planned Parenthood, Obamacare, and Common Core. Republicans passively watch as anarchists like Black Lives Matter and Wall Street occupiers rampage and violate the Constitution. And they are silent about Muslims slaughtering Christians and Jews, and that Obama is a closet Muslim. Where is Republican outrage over placing women into battlefront combat, knowing that if captured, they will be raped, mutilated, and brutalized by multiple acts of sexual hedonism? Where is Republican opposition to the Democrats' racist pigmentation warfare? Republicans have been losers so long they cannot comprehend winning. That is why they supported losers McCain and Romney. National interest is knowing that political parties cannot exist without a nation. Therefore, the prescribed priority for legal Americans should be God and country, sovereignty, preservation of constitutional freedoms and liberties, a strong military, and protection of the reproductive process that replenishes the nation's population. Whether or not he become president, Donald Trump, like a powerful drain cleaner, has unclogged the political correct sewers and flushed out with truth the toxic gunk and sludge that is poisoning the nation. And legal Americans who prioritize political party interests over the United States is tantamount to someone demolishing their own home, then complain about being homeless. Without nationalism, patriotism cannot exist. That is why, as a patriot, my commitment is not to any personality or party, because my national interest is to keep the United States one nation under God, and that is nationalism. I am Milt, logically speaking, uncensored, saying, think about it.
All right, yes, all right, thank you, folks. If you'd like to join the conversation, give us a call at 734-822-6800. We got an open mic here. Again, we're going to continue with the show. And so here, I want to just read a couple of headlines because this is the most important election of our lifetime, and we have to continue to fight regardless of what the media say about our candidate. This is somebody that's a very noble person. This is a very statesman idea, it's very statesman position that he took. He came, Donald Trump did something. I mean, he could be doing anything, Phil. He could be, building another building. But he's seen what Barack Hussein Obama has did to this country, did to the American people, did to our spirit, did what he's destroyed all around the world. And he decided, man, I gotta get in there. Now, he should have cleaned up some of, but he didn't even think about it. He didn't think about, as a politician, what they do is they polish up their, they clean up, they scrub some of their life a little bit prior to. He didn't do that. So this is unscripted. That means that Donald Trump just made this decision that my country is more important than my wealth. That's what he decided. He decided it, and so this is from the New Yorker. The New Yorker says Trump says his accusers are pawns in a globalist conspiracy to end U.S. sovereignty, and it is about our sovereignty because we heard Hillary Clinton said she wanted to bring in 500,000 refugees. Yeah. Why would you want to bring in that kind of number? During the debate with Pence. Keynes said that that Trump and Pence, they want to have a religious test. No, we want to vet people. It don't matter. We want to vet people, but absolutely we should have some kind of litmus test. This is a Christian nation first. Mm-hmm. Based on that, why would you bring people from all around the world who have a different philosophy than we do? Why don't you send them to countries that they can blend in, that they can be a little bit more that they have the same kind of ideas, the same background, but it's not about that. It's about destroying our sovereignty.
They would rather have Saudi Arabia give us money to build mosques here, so they can say that they have an exchange of cultures, but yet and still the exchange only goes one way. And this is where one thing that we really have to take a look at. Yes. Is that they build mosques here, but if they ban us from any kind of symbols of Christianity going into their country. So, and then they take absolutely none of these people into their country.
That's right.
So what are we benefiting out of this? I hear people talk about, well, we need them to help us fight the radical Islam. Well, I don't know. First of all, I don't know where these radicals come from. Where is this country with radical Islam as the overbearing belief there? Yeah. It's all Islam. It's radical Islam as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Well, they're just simply destroying our economic infrastructure when they bring in all of these people.
Driving down wages?
They're driving down wages, and they're taking our social network and exploding our commitment, our resources. We have to pay to settle these people, then we have to pay to keep these people, then they can't fit into the infrastructure of our working environment. They can't produce, they can't contribute, and they're not meant to. They're meant to bring America to its knees. Yes. This is a global agenda. Yes. This is not just something that Obama is thinking about. Yes. This is something that Obama and the communist world is thinking about. And of course, if you say something like that, you're termed a radical, and a subversive. But these people are so masterful in the art of deception that they couch their their agenda in soft words like, well, we've got to help people. That's not what that's what America is about. That's our national image, our national goals. We want to help the world. We have helped the world, and we're being destroyed from within by it because our infrastructure is decaying. Our roads and bridges are decaying, and that's exactly what Donald Trump is saying.
More importantly, our morals are decaying.
Our morals have been decayed over decades of leftist control of the media that pumps this garbage into our minds.
And,
this is
first
truly...
among them, again, is that political correctness, because they can make whatever issue turn to their favor because we try to hold to the Constitution. These people use the Constitution
when they need to, when it suits them.
But they use it against the traditions of this country. They've now made it a symbol of protest to disrespect our flag and our military and our law enforcement agencies.
That's a very good point. So here, let me go to some of our calls. I'm going to go to Rich from Ypsilanti. Good morning, Rich. How you doing?
Rich.
Hi. Yes. I want to highlight a couple of points made on the media. Last night, Ben Carson said it's not America's, regarding Trump now, it's not America's past, it's not Trump's past we have to worry about, it's America's future.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. And just heard, too, on your program about 6 minutes ago, a point made sort of hinting that Trump is sort of like a great master plumber who will clean out the sewage sludge that has been bothering America for so long in Washington, D.C.
Well put. That's a very interesting take on that. And it is true. Donald Trump represents the strong alpha male. And so the media and the Democrat committee, which is one and the same, has to destroy him based on issues that are so outside of what we should be focusing on, which Ben Carson said and Rich pointed out so correctly. America's future is at stake.
Yeah. Well, the future, what about that? America's future, Phil?
Well, you have to clean house before you can move somebody in.
Right.
And that's what we need a strong agent to...
Thank you, Rick.
But thanks, Rich. Go ahead.
We need a strong agent, and if you're going to do plumbing, you need some strong assets.
I want to prove the point about the news media, that the news media and the Democrat Party are one and the same. I went back. Now I could pull up stuff more relevant, but I pulled up something from 2004 when. The guy that I like, that's my buddy, when Alan Keyes was running in Illinois against Barack Hussein Obama. And Alan Keyes pointed out the hypocrisy. I want you to hear this exchange, the hypocrisy in the news media. So, Derek, if you could play the first part of the soundbite. This is the Alan Keyes with an exchange with Walter from Fox, Illinois. Now, listen to this exchange.
The Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate, who is on the other end of a live camera right now in Birmingham, Alabama. Good morning to you, Mr. Keyes, in Birmingham, 600 miles away. May I ask you why you are so far away at this moment with the election coming up? What are you doing in Alabama?
I had a previous commitment to keep. Unlike my opponent, I keep my word, and so I'm here in Alabama keeping a word I gave before I got into the race.
But you have an awful lot to do here in the next 8 weeks. Is that maybe not the best use of your time?
Actually, I have a lot less. I have a lot less than you think. I mean, I realize you all pay attention to what I don't say and have never said, and don't pay attention to the fact that the Democrats, by a corrupt maneuver, actually attempted to remove my name from the ballot, giving a vote of no confidence to their own candidate. They don't think this guy can win, and so they tried to preempt the choice of the people with a corrupt maneuver that would have eliminated the possibility of choice. They obviously aren't feeling confident about his prospects, and as he backed away from the promise of debates he had made to the people of Illinois, he doesn't feel confident about himself.
Okay, pause there for a minute. You know, Barack Hussein Obama had made a commitment to, I think it was 3 debates. He debated with him once and got his tail kicked. I mean, just if you know Alan Keyes, somebody that can articulate his point, and Barack Hussein Obama, this community organizer, was nowhere near on that level, and he said something. It's not in this soundbite, but he said something about Barack Hussein Obama. He said that he was not a Christian. He said he's not a Christian. He's using this for convenience to run for election. That's all it is. He said he cannot. He said whenever he tried to explain it, he have to default to this position of separation of church and state. And Mr. Keyes pointed out there is no such thing. It's separation of church and state.
That's an issue that I kind of have to challenge, because Thomas Jefferson really did say that there needs to be now listen, please, if I can, if there needs to be a wall of separation, but it's not because the church can't influence the government, it's that the government doesn't overtake religion. And there has to be the wall of separation, and we have lost our First Amendment right for the establishment of religion.
Liberals have used that to manipulate
of course they have. Of course, and they've used it incorrectly, like they do every single other thing. And as Alan Keyes pointed out, the Democrat Party knew that this guy couldn't win. They knew that Barack Hussein Obama would be pulverized in a debate with Alan Keyes, and boy, would I love to see that. Wouldn't you love to see that?
I mean, I went back and watched these debates, but I wanted to show that the Democrats, whether it's a national election or if it's a local election, they polarize Republicans, and they're going to do whatever they can to help Democrats get elected. Go ahead and finish up with that for a few minutes, Derek. A few more, I'm going to let a little bit more play, and then we'll comment on it. We still got a lot to get to. If you'd like to join the conversation, give us a call at 734-822-1600. Again, regardless of what you see in the news media, folks, what's happening with Donald Trump, we have to stand with him. We have to. Folks, we know that for 30 years, 35 years, 40 years, he's been in public office. He's been a high-profile A-list profile person. We've never, ever, ever heard any of this at all. Never, ever. And like Phil pointed out, they just make up stuff. They just made up something. And all of a sudden, it's their October surprise. Okay, go ahead and continue for a minute.
Sir, let's move on, if you will. You created quite a storm this week saying that citizens of Illinois ought to own and carry machine guns. That drew a rebuke from
That's a lie. I'm sorry. That's an out-and-out lie. Walter, that's an out-and-out lie. I never spoke those words. And a question was asked to me about whether or not citizens should be permitted. All I pointed out is that under existing law, private citizens can already gain access to automatic weapons. I never said anything such as you just said. Show me the words. Give me the quote. You know that it doesn't exist. When are you guys going to stop telling lies and distortions to the people of Illinois? I never said anything like you just quoted.
You just...
Give me the quote. Show it on the screen. You don't have it because it doesn't exist.
Mr. Keyes, excuse me, but you just said fewer than 20 seconds ago that you think it is legal and all right for Illinoisans and others to carry...
No, I made a statement of fact, Walter. But Walter, I made a statement of fact. In the article that was reported in the newspaper, the reporter went to talk to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and was told that, yes, there are regulations and regulatory requirements, but private citizens under present and existing laws have the right to access to automatic weapons. I simply stated that fact as it was then reported as a fact in the media, and you are distorting and misrepresenting what I said as if I advocated something. I simply described the existing situation. Why are you doing the work of the Democrats here in trying to distort my statement?
No, excuse me, sir.
I thought you were a member of the media.
It is not. It's not.
Are you a member of the media, or are you working for the other campaign?
No, I'm clearly a member of the media.
I just want to know what I'm dealing with.
Thank you very much. See?
God bless Alan Keyes.
Yes. He asked him, are you a member of the media? Or are you working for the other campaign? And so this is when he was running against Barack Hussein Obama. You know, they tried to, he's been helped. He's had this affirmative action around him for a long time. This position, they help him. They help Democrats. Now, so when we hear all this against Donald Trump, folks, we got to remember they did. This is Alan Keyes, for me, is a very noble person.
very noble. And you see how they tried to distort what he said. He said, all I did is just make a statement of fact. I didn't say that I'm advocating for somebody carrying automatic weapons. I'm saying under existing laws they already have.
Yeah.
If you go through the process, you can have whatever you want.
And that's why I say that the Democrats, you very rarely hear them say that they don't want the Supreme Court to go along any kind of lines that they've been going on. They don't care because they know that most of the lawyers and most of the judges and all of the people coming out of journalism schools have this same idea that they can twist words to represent the side that's against the traditions and the morals of this country. And that's how you get a judge that'll come in there on our side, like Roberts on the conservative side, supposedly. And do what he did. Yeah. Do what he did. And how many down the line? They don't care who's appointed as the Supreme Court. They will tell you who they don't want, like they didn't want Judge Bork. They pulled out all of the stops. They even made his name a pejorative. They were going around saying things like, "We're going to Bork his," you know, and they applied it to further down the line candidates for the Supreme Court. They know exactly the people that are adherents of the Constitution of this country. They will object very hard, but the people that are being out there touted, like Trump, they would do everything in their power to keep those people off the bench. But they don't care about the average, anybody that they, on the Democrat side appoint, they have no qualms about him.
And, of course, the media never talks about what Hillary Clinton said in that second presidential debate on what her criteria for a Supreme Court justice would be.
Yes.
It's that the candidate has to stand for the protection of voting rights. Really? Marriage equality?
Yes.
Marriage equality. Now, this is one of the issues that she flip-flopped on.
That was made up.
A woman's right to choose.
That's right.
Plus a commitment to getting money and corporate influence out of politics. If that were the case, then the Supreme Court justice would have to indict Hillary Clinton.
Well, she doesn't mind them getting the money out of this country, but she doesn't mind the people from the other countries, like Saudi Arabia.
And then she want to bring in all these foreign people to influence. See again, when they bring in, she want to bring in this 100 to 500,000 people. This is the Democrat using foreign people to influence our election. Again, this is the manipulation of our election, the undermining our election all the time. See, they get them here. Okay, well, we don't. They don't have to vote. But before you know it, if you give them an ID, what stop you? What's going to stop you from giving him a registration card? What's going to stop you from getting Social Security? Once that door is open, and so liberals again, they're going to do everything that they can today. To manipulate. So that's why I said when I watch all this, I mean, it's a sewer out there too. I'm talking about it's a sewer out there.
Before you get too far away from that statement, those people that are allowed to vote that shouldn't be voting. It's the judges that made it possible for them. That's why the Democrats don't care too much about the way the courts are going, because all of the appellate courts and stuff like that are dominated by liberals.
Oh, absolutely. They've packed the courts. It's incredible. But, I'm reading George Orwell's 1984. I took Dr. Larry Arnn of Hillsdale College's advice, and I'm rereading 1984. It is a fascinating book. But as George Orwell once said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
And that's what we're here to do. We're here today. Today, our weapon that we try to use today was truth. That's it. That's what our weapon was. Our weapon was truth. And that's what our weapon is today. And our weapon is next week. Next week, folks, I want you to join the Abolitionist Roundtable. The mayor and the ladies are going to be here. Oh, boy, I can imagine she has some good stuff for you. What did you want to say, Phil?
Watch political correctness. We need to stamp it out.
Phil will be on again at 8:30, folks.
Actually, 12 o'clock. I'm going to be on with
Phil is going to be on at 12 o'clock. We'll talk to you next week.
Talk 1,600 listeners. to continue the roundtable discussions by mailing correspondence to Art of Michigan, Post Office Box 135, Garden City, Michigan, 48135.
Or follow Phil, Del, and Janice at artofmichigan.com. You can also send emails to artofmichigan@hotmail.com. And most of all, continue to listen every Saturday and tell a friend.